Well, from our stadiums to the stage, even the sky, 2024 is shaping up to be an exciting year for the South East. Abby Guerin breaks down the blockbuster calendar of events coming our way.
It's going to be an action-packed start to the year for the South East. The Brisbane International starts tomorrow, the world's best battling it out for the next week. Then Brisbane Heat takes over the Gabba before the Gabba Test. The Magic Millions Carnival hits the Gold Coast, then AFL fans flock in for opening round in March. 2024 also brings an impressive lineup of global music royalty. Pink and Blink-182 in February, the Jonas Brothers in March, Niall Horan in April. Then in May, a 4-day festival of football, kicking off with Game 1 of Women's State of Origin at Suncorp for the first time ever, followed by NRL Magic Round. In July, we're hosting the State of Origin Potential Decider, Game 3 at Suncorp Stadium, then Brisbane's biggest party of the year, Riverfire, marking the start of the Brisbane Festival. More excitement in the back half of the year, putting the South East on the world stage in August. The world's first Bluey's World opens at North Shore. An epic 3-day air show will take over the Gold Coast again. And the Australian PGA Championship returns to Brisbane in late November. A massive year ahead for the South East, starting with a bang tomorrow night.
So much ahead. Well, in just 3 minutes' time, from the city to the coast, your guide to what's in store for 2024. The southeast suburbs about to boom. What you need to know is just moments away. But first, Bronte Gildea is back with a check of the weather for us. Bronte, a lovely night down there. Can we expect the same tomorrow?
Oh, Wendy, we're not too sure at this stage for tomorrow, but tonight it's turned into a beautiful sunset from what was supposed to be a pretty gloomy day. The kids are certainly enjoying it. We can only hope we see the same thing tomorrow for New Year's.
House prices across the southeast soared to record highs in 2023, and experts are making bold predictions for the year ahead. With 2024 just around the corner, tonight we can reveal the suburbs set to boom.
Defying expectations and despite 13 rate rises, real estate records were smashed in 2023.
It's been a great year. There's still been lots of good, solid price growth. Demand is very strong.
So what's in store for 2024? Prices continuing to skyrocket. Experts predicting Brisbane house values could soar by up to 8% next year. The suburbs expected to boom: Chermside, Stafford, Gildea, Murarrie, Clontarf, Wollongabba and acreage areas like Pullen Vale and Chandler. On the Gold Coast, the more affordable suburbs are likely to see more growth, including Pimpama, Coomera, Ormo and Labrador.
The median house price in Brisbane is now sitting at over $1 million, and so that's pretty frightening. It is still possible to find a hidden gem there and a bit of a bargain, but there's no doubt that you have to be looking very carefully.
The advice to buyers is to keep an open mind when looking at properties. Try neighbouring suburbs near your preferred location, or consider purchasing a townhouse unit or apartment. But most importantly, buy what you can afford.
Do your due diligence, and really property will serve you well provided that you are clever about where you invest.
Isabel Quinlan, 9 News.
It is time now for our full weather forecast. Bronte, how much rain are we expecting for New Year's Eve?
Well, 90% chance of rain here on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane. Only 20 millimetres expected in the gauge in both locations. But up a little bit further north today, take a look at the radar. We can see that storm activity moving over north of Caloundra, over Hervey Bay, which recorded about 32 millimetres, but terrifying for the people underneath all of that thunder and lightning. Now let's have a look at temperatures across the southeast today. 10 degrees cooler than what we saw in Brisbane yesterday, just 28, 29 on the border, 33 in Gympie and 29 on the Sunshine Coast. Taking a look at the map now, you can see that trough bringing the wet weather to us here on the east coast. Behind that, a surface trough dragging moisture into the southern parts of the country. Around the grounds for New Year's Eve, sunny for most of Australia, except for us here in Queensland, unfortunately. A top of 31 in Perth and 26 in Adelaide, 21 for Melbourne, cloudy and 22 for the capital, while Darwin will have storms and a top of 35 degrees. Back at home, North Queensland should dodge the rain for New Year's. Tops of 34 in Townsville, which might catch a bit of that shower activity, but partly cloudy, and 33 for Cairns. Showers for the Whitsundays and thunderstorms for the Capricornia, Wide Bay and Burnett regions as the storm activity moves north. While out west, it will be sunny and 43 degrees in Longreach. For us in southeast Queensland, we'll have the remnants of that storm system hanging over. Some showers for the Sunshine Coast all the way down to us here on the Gildea. And as I mentioned earlier, a chance of some scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, so keep an eye on that changing forecast. On the bay, southerly and 10 knots tending south to southeasterly with winds up to 20 knots in the evening for the city tomorrow. Still the chance of a thunderstorm and showers throughout the day. The heat hanging around a little, a top of 31 and pretty humid. Looking ahead, no end in sight for those showers, cooling down a little for New Year's Day, but we'll see those temperatures increasing again toward the end of next week with a top of 33 for Thursday. Not much different in Ipswich, up to 35 degrees forecast for Thursday. For us here on the coast, a soggy New Year's Day and tops of 27. Not the beach cricket kind of weather we've been hoping for. Possible thunderstorms around then as well. As for you on the Sunshine Coast, storms persisting until Monday with a top of 27 and then warming up again into next week. As for what's happening out on the water, let's take a look at the beaches forecast.
Clean conditions across the coast this morning. Too bad there wasn't a lot of action. Small at Burleigh, a couple of 2-footers coming through and a few keen surfers having a crack. D-Bar struggling to get any size as well. A little bit of chop early with light variable winds. For the swimmers, make sure you're keeping between the flags. Water temps around 24 degrees. Looking ahead, that southerly change should see conditions improving in the early parts of next week. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. Early will be the pick. Head to the southern magnets, which will draw a little more size. For the boaties, light winds and calm this morning, but those storms spoiling the fun from the Goldie all the way up the coast. Light variable winds tomorrow morning and seas 1 to 2 metres, but definitely keep an eye on that storm forecast. Now here's weatherman Luke Bradnam out doing what he does best. That's why you're hearing my voice this weekend and not his. Picking up this long-tailed tuna at 17.70. Good on you, Luke.
Let's hope Luke out on the water can ditch his rain jacket and I can ditch mine as well tomorrow night for the New Year's celebrations.
Yeah, indeed. And well done, Luke. Good stuff. Thank you, Bronte. And that is 9 News Queensland this Saturday. Thanks so much for your company. Dimity Clancy is next with a current affair. Have a great evening. Good night.